Hey everybody, Nickname's Kane here. I um I just needed some quiet reflective time that we could talk. Before we go any further, this is not a video discussing why Jimi Hendrix looks like Morgan Freeman. Um this is this is a picture that I sent to myself. Um I saw this on Twitter about a week ago. And it's one of those things, you know how it is. You see something, you just can't unsee it. And it's been a reflective picture for me. It's one that I've come back to several times actually. And it's been one of those things that has made me think. You know, just as a reflective, make you think, when I started this journey of finding the truth, of having the truth, given to me through, you know, truthers on YouTube or by, being able to see past the lies on TV or, overhearing people say certain things out in the world. When I started this journey, I thought it was all, you know, oh, hey, there's just some stuff going on in the background. It doesn't really affect me because it's just kind of out there and I'm here and I'm good. It'll just be fine. Um but as I've uncovered more and more, or I guess I should say as I've gone deeper down the rabbit hole, it really makes you introspective. It really makes you stop and question everything. Now, for anybody that's never seen any of my videos or doesn't know what this channel is, um, I started out this channel, at least the one on YouTube. I'm putting this on BitChute as well. But I started out this channel as a video game channel because one of the things I loved to do was play video games and talk about the video games. I've played video games by myself so much that my humor of the video games, the just thinking about certain things, I thought, well, people would want to hear this, and I heard that there were people doing it, and I said, that's what I want to do. I want to make video game, commentary videos. I think I'm funny enough. I could do it, And I spent a good 2.5 years doing video game commentaries, loving every minute of it. Thought it was great. Um, but as I was looking for other commentators, I guess, to see how they do it, to see their style, the way they do it, you start getting exposed to the truth, especially 4 or 5 years ago, back when YouTube was kind of still, right on the verge of the wild, wild west that it used to be. And you start getting down those rabbit holes, you start learning about like the 9/11s, and you start worrying about school, or start hearing about the school shootings, and you hear little things here and there, and you're in the back of your mind, if you're open to it. Now I know some people just aren't open to it, so some people just are not going to see it no matter what they do. But if you're open to the possibility that there's something wrong in the world, there's something in the back of your mind that just kind of says, hey, go check that out. Just go see what they're saying. And as I grew further and further into the truth, I started moving further and further away from the video game commentaries. until eventually I started doing the videos like I do now. As I actually put myself on camera and I just sit down and talk. And I try to make sense of all this stuff that's coming into my head. I've had several people over the years leave comments, say that I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I'm a jackass, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just another, conspiracy nut that doesn't understand what truth is. Okay, maybe that's true. I don't know. The one thing that I've always tried to do, though, the one thing that I've said as I've gone through this is, I don't have the definite answers. I'm just trying to figure this out. Because all I have is to be able to sit here and listen to other people talk about these things. And it rolls around in my mind, and I really don't have anybody that I can just bounce these ideas off of. The only person I have is my wife, and she can't take very much of this. She can only take so much of it before, her cognitive dissonance kicks up and she has to pull back. And, so I said, I need to get it out somehow. So I started doing these videos like this where we just talk about it. And at the very beginning, I used to say, don't take my word for it. I'm just trying to figure this out. I could be wrong, and I very well could be wrong about everything. I absolutely admit that. I want somebody to come along and to prove me 100% wrong where I feel it for myself that, oh, you're right, There was a video I was watching a couple days ago where somebody was saying, there's a difference between fact and truth. Fact is the absolute understanding of something. A fact, if you take two sticks and put them together with another two sticks, you get four sticks. That's a fact. That's all that is. That's a fact. That's a physical fact. You can see it. When you throw a ball up in the air, it's going to come back down. That's a fact. You can call it whatever you want to. You can call it gravity. You can call it electrical waves. You can call it whatever you want to. But the fact is, it's still going to fall down to the ground. We have yet to see otherwise that it's not going to fall to the ground unless there's some kind of, action to it that's going to keep it from falling. That's a fact. Truth, on the other hand, truth is something that's more subjective. He was explaining it that truth is something that you have to take and consider the facts and make up your own truths. The concept he used, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I kind of get it, but it's a little bit hard. Is in the physical fact, you can take two sticks and put two sticks together with it, and it makes four. But he was using the notion that if you take two people, a man and a woman, 1 plus 1 will equal 3. Because the truth of that is that when the man and the woman get together, they can make a baby. They make a third. So 1 plus 1 equals 3. That is a truth to some people. It's not a fact. It's just the truth for some people. And it's caused me to kind of pull back a little bit and retrospectively think, and then I had this picture. I just actually saw this. It's fairly new into my images on my phone. I was actually looking at images of my granddaughter, and I happened to scroll back, one too many times, and there was this. And it's like I said, I've pulled this out a couple times, and I've just looked at it, and I know that I know it's probably not true. I mean, come on, the story we're told is that Jimi Hendrix died. I think it was a drug overdose. I don't know what it was. Apparently, he threw up, choked himself to death while he was, asleep or something. Took too much. On the other hand, Morgan Freeman, he's an actor. He's been around for a hot minute, but he got famous later on in his life. It's not like he started doing that at like 20 or 30. I think he didn't get famous until he was in his 30s. I don't know. I don't know. This isn't about that. This is about what do you know? What do you really know? I mean, you can look at this image and you can think, oh gosh, you're just, come on now. You just, it's just the biggest coincidence in the world, and there's probably some name out there for, thinking that two people look alike, and and there's the odds of it happening aren't that small, that people look alike all the time, especially in showbiz, because everybody's related. And it very well may be that they're related and yada 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 and all this stuff, but I had a phrase that popped into my head before I started this video, and I'm kind of starting to lose it. The phrase, it was something like, you never really know what it's like to live until you really question the reality of this picture. I think that's what it was. You never really know what it's like to live until you really question the reality of this picture. And I think that's where I am right now, man. I am so far down the rabbit hole right now that I am questioning everything. And I even said a couple weeks back that I have been ripped apart in my understanding of life. I have been ripped apart so bad that I am having to, what's the word? Is it tabula rasa? Blank slate? I mean, that's where I am. Blank slate. You see so much, and you understand so much, and then you realize that you don't understand anything at all. That images like this exist in the world. Right? That it's so absurd that things like this should exist in this world. That we have to question this. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, really, what's going on here? Take a good look at it. Just take a second just to really look at it. Just, how much do you know? Could be real, could be fake. But how much do you know? How much do you understand of reality? Now, we've talked about how far off the rabbit hole I am. Blank slate. And I've talked about the things I believe in and things that, I'm still questioning. Some people don't like it, but my top one is flat Earth. I've talked about it several times, and that's been the one that's really cracked me open. Showed me that there are different possibilities. You may think like I said, I've been called crazy. I've been called crazy. I've been called an idiot. I've been called a fucking idiot, actually. I've been called a lot of names. I've lost a lot of friends, believe it or not, because of all this. But it cracks you in half. It really does. When you start to really ponder it, you have to ponder it first and then really look at it and see that there's something there more to it than just, oh, hey, Joe Blow is coming up with some kind of silly conspiracy nonsense. When you look past that point and see that, oh wait, there's something that's just not adding up here, it does something to you. The truth, my truth, again, like I said, truth is subjective. It does something to you. It really pulls you back and makes you think. And I started off with the flat earth thing, and then we got into the giant trees because somebody's found giant trees. And then, giants, it eventually led me to giants, which when I was doing giants and giant trees, I happened to slam right up against the Nephilim, or, right up against, Genesis 6. And that was the life changer. That was the one that sent me straight down the path towards where I am now. And it wasn't just about, oh hey, everything is creation and everything is, everything they tell you isn't real and all this stuff. It wasn't just that. It was, oh hey, there is a God and there is a true evil in the world, and the evil in the world happens to be trying to tear this world down in the exact way that the Bible tells you it's going to. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to. Again, I tell everybody you got to find your own path on this one. But that's what I saw. And I kept seeing it. And I kept seeing it. And I kept seeing it. And then I started hearing people from many years back start talking about it. And it just kept adding up and kept going and kept adding up. And it was one rabbit hole after another, and it just kept going down the holes. And it got to the point to where I had to question everything. History was a lie. Absolute history was a lie. And I don't even know if I could say that was subjective truth or if that's fact, because the fact is that the winners are the ones that write history. And the fact is, everything that I seem to have been taught in school isn't panning out with what people are finding out in the real world, as concerns historical documents and written notes and hidden paintings, and none of it fits. It doesn't work. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean that we're absolutely buried in lies? Or does that mean that there's something else going on there that I just haven't seen yet? I don't know. I don't. And I think it ultimately starts coming down to how much of it do you want to believe? because you throw out the 20 plus years of education that I had, the 40 plus years of my life experiences, all the documentaries I ever watched, all the History Channel before the History Channel became the Alien History Channel, um, all the Discovery Channel stuff, all of the history stuff that I used to love because I used to be a history buff. All of that. How much of it is true? How much of it do I want to keep, and how much of it do I have to look at and say, no, I can't, that's not real anymore? Where's the divide? Because really, right now, after the past 3 months that I've been locked inside of this house, where I have had nothing but YouTube to keep me company. You see, the thing was, I've worked at jobs for the past 5 years where I could have headphones on, and I could wear headphones and listen to my iPhone. I'd put YouTube on, and I would just let YouTube run it. I could sit there and listen to it. I those are just the kind of jobs that I was able to have. Since I've been here in the house, I've been able to interact so much more with YouTube now that I'm able to go off the rails like I couldn't do before. I've been able to go on BitChute, which, boy howdy, BitChute will hand you some doozies. It can't all be real. Is it all real? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to go anymore. I really don't. It boggles the mind. It absolutely boggles the mind. And that's why I said blank slate. I have to start with a blank slate because there's so much. There's so much now. There's so many contradictions. And it's hard to I know it's hard to believe certain people. It's hard to believe what some people say. It's hard to understand these things, but the other thing I'm able to do while I'm here at the house is to stop working, pick up my phone, and search these things out. And then I find out that these things are real, things that you can find out for yourself, and that's a completely different mindfuck. That's absolutely completely different. So what is it? I mean, where am I going with all this? What am I doing with all this? Now that I really don't know. I am I'm at this point. I'm at this point where I'm staring at this picture and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. What do you know? What is your reality? What is your truth? What's the facts? Well, the facts supposedly say that Jimi Hendrix was a guitar player back in the 60s. Probably one of the best guitar players ever. I don't know. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. That's an opinion. That's subjective. He made good music. I don't know if he was the best, but he was pretty damn good. He made it look flawless and natural. Morgan Freeman is amazing. Absolutely amazing guy. Just voice like butter, and just very laid back actor. Probably very cool dude. So what do you know about reality? What do you really know about reality? Ask yourself that question. Because I look at this picture and I think, man, I know nothing. Everything you think you might know, I don't know. This isn't a video about. This isn't a video about Jimi Hendrix being. This is not a video about that. It's not. This is a video about what do you know? How much of your reality are you willing to throw out the window in order to find the truth? Because I bet when you take a second to really look at this picture, you gotta start tearing down some walls. If you really want to find the truth, you've got to start tearing down some walls. I don't think you should go blank slate. I really don't. Because going blank slate is it's not easy because there are too many times where I will I will lay on my back in my bed at night, sometimes in the morning, just kind of thinking, wow, just thinking it's all a shit horror show and I don't know how to get out of it. Now, of course, you put COVID right on top of that, and it's just an absolute nightmare. And I mean, there's that too. There's that whole nonsense. This whole situation that we're in right now. That I've talked about it being a torture device, and other channels have talked about it being torture, and they're conditioning our minds to certain things, and when you're isolated like this for so long, it starts cracking your mind and your reality starts warping. Maybe that's where I am. I mean, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that's why I'm having to stop and take this mental reflection to try to figure this out. I mean, maybe that's why I had to go blank slate, because my mind is cracking. Maybe I can just see it and admit it before, because maybe I'm the crazy person that knows that he's going crazy, right before the mind really snaps. I don't know. It just seems it seems like it's a bad movie where the actors are starting to realize that they're inside of a movie, and they're starting to be able to see the cracks in the curtains. And I use that analogy inside of this house because all of the paneling in my basement where I am right now, there are cracks in the paneling now that weren't there a couple years ago. There's one in the bathroom. It's a little weird. I've never noticed it until today, and I saw it and I said, the paneling's shrinking? What is this? There's cracks forming in the walls. Literally forming in the walls. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very strange. It's very strange. I'm not saying that is what it is. I don't know. I had this dream last night. This dream fucked me up, man. Oh, I gotta take a drink of water. Hold on a second. I was driving down the highway that used to be outside of my old house, and there was this motel that I stopped at, and I was like a paranormal investigator or something. I don't know what it was. It was weird. So I got into this motel, and I'm kind of talking to, there's a couple of people outside, and I'm talking to them, and my memory of this is starting to fade. I should have written this down because I think this would be a great short story Should probably write it out because it would have been a great short story, Stephen King worthy short story. But I was talking to these people and they said, yeah, if you could go into this room over here to help this couple out because they're really having a problem. They're really having a problem with some stuff going on in their apartment. So I go into this apartment and it's just a couple. It's a young couple. They're in their 20s. It's just them by themselves. They don't have any kids. And they're saying, yeah, there's something in here. I'm getting chills. I'm getting that tells you how messed up the story is. I'm getting chills because this was kind of a freaky dream. Father, please protect me. Let me get through this dream, or let me get through this story. Okay. So I go into this house, and they're saying that they've got something's in the house. Something's in the house that doesn't feel right to them. That they've been having these weird, shadows, or something just feels off. And I go in there and I'm like, yeah, you're right. There's something just doesn't feel right in this house. And I was really, I don't know what the word is. I was really like, uppity about it. I'm like, I know how to take care of this. I've done this before. No problem. So I start praying. I start saying, I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command all evil spirits to get out of this house, to leave this place. There shall be nothing in here that can harm, how it is, the whole thing. And so I was in their living room doing this, and they're like, well, we've had some problems back here in the back too. And so I walk back, and it's kind of set up like my old trailer, where it was like a big living room and kitchen in the front, big living room, dining room in the front, and then it was a little hallway that went through, and there was like a door. And I remember I wanted to go into the door, but it was locked. And they said, you can't go in there right now. I said, okay. So I followed them back through the hallway. And, they were saying, there's something back here in this back room too. And it was kind of a bedroom. And I remember the guy, the guy that was there. He was saying, there's something up there in the back corner. I can feel it. There's something up there. And I was looking, and there wasn't anything up there. And it was like it was dark in the room. It's like I couldn't see, I could see enough, but I couldn't see. It was just too dark. And I was like, well, hold on a second. I've got this app on my phone where I can see stuff that, normal people can't see. And I was pulling my phone out, and the woman was closing the door behind me, and she was saying, don't worry, we'll be okay. I trust that you can do this, because they were happy that I was going around praying and getting rid of this thing. And this guy was like, yeah, I see it. It's over there in the corner. It's up on the ceiling. It's going round and round and round and round. And he was doing that too. And it was, I'm getting chills again. He kept saying it like that, like creepy, like round and round and round and round and round and round and round. He just kept doing it. And I finally get my phone up. And I look up through the phone at this thing, and it's a giant fucking bat. And the last thing I see is this like evil bat vampire face come at me. And in the background, I can just make out that the man and the woman had turned into like these weird, freaky vampire things. And that woke me up so hard this morning at like 7:30 in the morning. I said, shit, man, I'm never getting back to sleep after that. But it was just so it was one of those things, that just added on to it and made me reflect. And the entire time I kept saying, man, I should write this down. It's such a good story. It would make such a great story. Just a little short story like the ones that I would read in the back in the 90s. They would do a lot of the the short story compendiums, like the horror writers, just maybe like 10 pages. That's all you need. And it was just like that. It was, and I was like, man, it would make such a great script, for a thing. And but it was so weird. And it was one of those things where it was like, you were asked to go into a house to exorcise a ghost, but you were trapped into going back into a den of vampires. And it was so messed up. And it's made me have to stop and think. And I've been doing that so much lately, trying to find my little piece of reality. And then I saw this before I came downstairs. I should be playing video games. I should be enjoying the, 4 hours of awake time that I have. 3 hours. I don't know. I'll be up till 2, so probably 3 hours. 3 hours I have of awake time before I, can't play anymore. But I'm not. I'm here talking to you guys because I needed to. Because something in the back of my mind said, let's talk about this picture. What do you know? This isn't a video about Jimi Hendrix becoming Morgan Freeman. It's not. This is a picture about what do you know? What can you trust? What is your reality? Do you need help? I can help you with this. I can tell you what's going on in this picture. You want me to tell you what's going on? This isn't a video about Jimi Hendrix turning into Morgan Freeman. It's not. This is about what do you trust? All right. I already looked it up for you. Jimi Hendrix was born November 27th, 1942. Died September 18th, 1970. Does it have it in here? It doesn't have it in here. Anyways, November 27th, Johnny Allen Hendrix. Okay. 1942. Morgan Freeman was born June the 1st, 1937. They're only 5 years apart. They're only 5 years apart, guys. I don't know what to say to that. I already did this the other day. The other interesting thing, Jimi Hendrix died September 17th, 1970. Morgan Freeman rose to fame in 1970 for his role in the children's television series The Electric Company. I did this the other day. I don't know. I know it's not. I know they're not. It's just because it's there. It's just there. What do you know? What do you really know? I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're the same person. I'm not saying that. We know they're all related in Hollywood. They're all related in the government. They're all related. That's not even a thing. But this, I don't know. What do you know? What do you know? And that's what I've been reflecting on. Kind of, it's not every waking moment, but it's enough waking moments that I've had to step away from truth for several times over the past couple months because it's gotten to that point, you know? It's just gotten to that point to where I've said, "Whoa, I gotta step back because I'm here." I don't know. Just interesting stuff. Just like I said, just some introspection. Again, Jimi Hendrix is not Morgan Freeman. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is. I'm going to err on the side of maybe not. But this wasn't a video about trying to prove that Jimi Hendrix is Morgan Freeman. This is a video just asking the question, what do you know? What's real? I don't know anymore. Blank slate. Blank slate, man. Blank slate. I don't have anything else to say. I'm trying to find the words. I don't really have the words, so you guys take it easy, and I will see you guys later.